Welcome back, guys. I've been so impatient waiting for our time portal to recharge, but it's up and ready to go. All right, are you ready? Let's review the three most important rules of time travel. Number one, have a clear mission. Okay? Our mission for today is to build knowledge about the culture and major events of the 1960s. We'll know that we've completed our mission when we can answer discussion questions about the culture and the major events, right? All right. So, rule number two, don't tell anyone that you're from the future. The only person who knows that we're coming is Alice Flowerbottom because she's our tour guide. So, if you see anyone else along the way, don't tell them you're from the future. Just act natural. Okay? All right. Rule number three, and we know this is our most important rule. Don't alter the past. So don't talk to anybody, don't touch anything, don't tell anybody what's going on in the future. Just lay low. You got it? You promise? I think you got it. All right, Alice Flowerbottom is waiting for us. Let's go. Loading up the time portal. Welcome back to the 1960s. Of course, you know it's all about peace and love here. I hope everything's been copacetic. That means all right here in the 60s. I'm going to take you through every year of the 60s and show you the things that are big deal here. The major events. Loading up to 1960. John F. Kennedy was elected as the 35th president in the year 1960. Sprite was introduced in both cans and bottles. The flag with all 50 stars was completed. You know, we just added Hawaii last year in 1959, so now we have all 50 stars here in 1960. Cassius Clay won his first Olympic gold medal for boxing. He was still called Cassius Clay here in 1960. This is also the year of the Greensboro sit-ins that sparked the student and sit-in movement of civil rights. All right, loading up to 1961. All right, here we go. This is the year of the Freedom Riders. They rode up and down the South protesting the segregation of busing. In the end, they won their fight. Loading up to 1962. In 1962, Spider-Man makes his debut in Marvel Comics. Look at that suit, man. The first Walmart store opened up. I heard those are a big thing in your time. No more poking holes into cans. We finally got the pull tabs here in 1962. Loading up to 1963. Let's go. In 1963, the first disco opens. I told you the 60s was groovy. We also have the March on Washington. Martin Luther King shook things up. He gave his I Have a Dream speech during this march. Sadly, JFK was assassinated. It really changed the world forever afterwards. After this, the Vice President, Lyndon Baines Johnson, becomes the president. Jumping on to 1964. Things really got jumping here in 1964, I'll tell you that. Muhammad Ali becomes heavyweight champion of the world after he defeats pro fighter Sonny Liston. He floats like a butterfly, stings like a bee. The doors opened at 1, 2, 3. The first Mustang came out. Woo, what a beauty. the 1964 model. I'll never forget it. That's a bad car, man. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 was passed. It ended segregation in public places, banned employment discrimination, and other kinds of discrimination based on race, gender, religion, or where you're from. Standard seatbelts became a thing in 1964. And you also have the Freedom Summer. It was a volunteer campaign where people went down to southern states to help register African Americans to vote safely, even though it was dangerous. All right, we're loading up to 1965, one of my favorite years. The Charlie Brown Christmas special made its debut on television. Martin Luther King and many other civil rights activists marched for several days from Montgomery, Alabama to Selma to advocate for voting rights. The St. Louis Gateway Arch was finally completed, and the Pillsbury Doughboy was introduced. Moving on to 1966. Whew! How the Grinch Stole Christmas made its TV debut. Whew! 1967 already? Whew! I wonder if you're tired, because I am. Thurgood Marshall became the first black Supreme Court justice. I tell you, here in 1967, that felt like heaven. The first automated teller machine was used, also known as an ATM. The first Super Bowl happened. The Green Bay Packers and the Kansas City Chiefs battled it out, and the Green Bay Packers took home the win. Loading up. 1968. I tell you, 1968 was kind of bleak, man. Martin Luther King was assassinated. It's a day you'll never forget. Things started to turn around when Apollo 8 became the first time humans orbited the moon. We didn't get to land on it just yet, but we sure did get to circle it. And that brought some hope to the world. Whew, we have made it to 1969. Richard Nixon becomes the 37th president. We also fulfilled JFK's promise of putting a man on the moon. People all over the country shed a tear that day. Like Neil Armstrong said, one small step for man, big step for mankind. I think that's what he said. The legendary 3-day music festival, Woodstock, took place in 1969. It was known as 3 days of peace and music. Whew, guys, we have reached the end of the decade, and I am wore out from all those jumps. Let's get you back home. Color me gone. Whoa, that was amazing. I learned so many major events of the 1960s. What were some events that you found interesting? What did you learn that you maybe didn't know before? I'm really excited to go over these questions with you on Zoom later. But we also have a GoFormative linked in our assignment slides for you to help work through some of those discussion questions too. All right, see you guys later. Bye.